Welcome to Let's Play Piano.
I'm Aire.
And I'm Aire.
And today...
So we had this fun idea. I am going to attempt, keyword attempt, to make a piano adaptation of All the Way, the Jacksepticeye Songified remix by Schomoyoho.
So, this will be her fourth time hearing the song.
Fourth-ish. I've heard it 2 or 3 times.
Alright.
That's
So
amazing.
confidence.
That's amazing. Somehow it gets better every time I watch it.
Right?
Alright guys, well, check back in a little bit. Let's see how this goes.
It has been about an hour, and we are ready to show you what she has done.
So far, it doesn't seem like very much for an hour's worth of work, but hopefully it's recognizable. Oops.
So, just wait till we get it done.
Yay!
Welcome back.
Okay, so I have been working on pianifying all the way. I have basically decided that since they songified all the way first, now I'm going to pianify it. So I am going to hold true to the melody and to the harmonies and as much as possible to the rhythms. There are certain places where expletives are used comedically, and obviously the piano doesn't really cuss.
I mean, it does, but...
I mean... So, there will be certain places where I'm going to change things just a little bit to make it more interesting on the piano. That's one thing that I wanted to tell you guys as I continue working on this. Back when we first started on this project, I pretty much immediately glommed onto the chorus and I started figuring out what the harmonies were and how that went. And that's kind of how I've continued. I've just been picking out things that I pick up really quickly and trying to figure that out. I'm kind of doing it in piecemeal and slowly putting my pieces together. That's basically my process so far. The thing that has been most difficult for me, as it turns out, is figuring out how to represent tricky, syncopated rhythms.
What is syncopated?
So, syncopation is when you have notes that take up more space than they should, so think of a beat as a block of time, okay? And so the note starts at the beginning of the beat, and then it might go past the end of that beat, right? Which means it's stealing some time from the next beat. And then maybe there's another note that starts right after that note in the middle of that next beat. And so you have to figure out how much of that second beat was being stolen and how much of it is left, and therefore what kind of note value you should write in order to represent this rhythm. And it is sometimes very hard to tell what's actually going on mathematically just by listening to a song. So that has turned out to be something that's really slowing me down on this project. But I'll get it. I will get it.
So, what do we have so far?
Okay, so last time I figured out, and then I started going, oh, this is kind of cool if I go. So one of the first things that I did was I started trying to figure out that stuff where he's going, keep on a-dancing, keep on flying, come on, you got this. I started trying to figure that out. So now we've got... So now we've got those little insert things going on in there. The other thing that I also started trying to figure out is the very beginning of the song. and I can't really make the piano go top of the morning. So I'm gonna have to just do something to start it. I haven't really settled on what I'm gonna do. So right now all I've got is... Oops. Yeah, I need to practice it. So that's pretty much how it's starting right now. It will be better, I promise, once I've really got this. And then that's about as far as I've gotten. And even that much isn't really written down yet because I'm still trying to figure out the rhythmic math. So, actually, I have one more thing. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but you know that spot where he goes, "Ugh!" I wrote that in there.
Is that going to be...
Or maybe there have to be some vocals. Maybe you just have to go,
I would love to see a regular, very serious pianist
now playing this adaptation and very seriously going, Oh goodness. Alright, so more on that later. Hi. Okay, so we changed camera angles so that I could show you this. Okay, can you guys see this? Did you?
Ish,
okay.
yeah.
Alright, so I keep moving these bar lines over. Bar lines kind of help us measure time in music. And the reason they keep moving is because I wasn't exactly sure which beat in the bar, which beat in the bar this is supposed to be starting on. So I just kind of started writing down the rhythms that I was hearing without really knowing where in time they fell. Until I got to this part where he's saying, Jacksepticeye, Jack, yeah, Jack, yeah. Because I figured, okay, that feels like a really strong beat. That's probably a downbeat right there. Jack, yeah, all the way. Okay, so I figured, okay, that's gotta be a downbeat, right? So then I just started counting back 4 beats.
Downbeat.
Oh, sorry. Downbeat is the first beat in a measure, or a segment of time, okay? So, yeah, so basically, after I decided that was the downbeat, or the first beat in this measure, then I was able to count back 4 beats for each measure from there, so that I could measure the same amount of time for each portion. And I'm still not completely sure that it's right, so it may end up changing again in the future, but I think I'm on the right track. Hey guys, so this is a little update. This is about the Mr. Potato Man part. So, for your information, it took me more than 2 hours to figure out about 8 beats worth of music, 2 measures. So, 4 beats each. And,
Which is?
1,
2, 3,
yeah, right.
4,
So 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that's how fast one measure goes by. And actually, that was part of the problem. Because it was going by so fast. I was having a really hard time parsing out where the beats were falling. So, at Aire's suggestion, I tried a few different things, because I obviously started venting at her. I tried going like this, 1 finger per beat, to try to figure out where the lyrics were falling. That wasn't helping. I also sent her a clip from it so that I could just show her which part was bothering me so much, and that actually ended up being one of the most helpful things, because then I could just listen to that one little snippet and it helped. So, what else did we try?
We listened to a Beat Saber version.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we wanted to see if anybody, they had parsed out the rhythm there, which they had not.
No, it was not helpful. See, we were hoping that the slashing might show us where the beats were happening, but they were just dodging walls.
So that wasn't helpful.
No.
But it did, in the beginning of the song, it did make sure that we were on the right path for the whole song as the beats.
Mm-hmm.
Because it assured us that other people were hearing the same thing that we were.
Yeah. So that helped, but for different reasons. So anyway, without further ado, Mr. Potato Man.
And another update.
Yeah, so a couple of final things that I'd like to share with you guys. So one of the things that I struggled with, and it just kept running in the back of my head, was how am I going to start the song? Because in the original video, it starts the way that Jacksepticeye always starts his videos, with the high five thing. I don't have anybody to high five. I can't really put that in the score, because how is anybody going to perform that sound when they perform this piece, if anybody else wants to learn it ever? So I decided that I was going to try to make it sound like a game system turning on. And of course I thought about the iconic sound that a Game Boy makes. And I thought, well, I'll do something kind of like the Game Boy. So, alright, so I think that's how I'm going to start the piano version of this. I decided that I was going to make the piano make a really ugly sound at a very key point in the piece. So I wonder if anybody might recognize this. So I used one of the ugliest sounds that music can make. It's called a tritone. And not only that, but I kind of painted a broad brush stroke with it, so... there we go. That's the piano's version of cussing. Ah, yes. So we were discussing the Mr. Potato Head thing a little bit further.
Potato Man.
Yeah, Mr. Potato Man, sorry. Mr. Potato Man thing a little bit further. And Aire was saying that she thinks the transition sounded a little bit too abrupt. So I decided to flesh out the chords a little bit further. But, you're going to have to watch the actual performance to hear that in context.
after the finished piece, but this is going to be a special episode. This is going to be our first uploaded episode.
Yay! So, it had always been our plan to take this transcription that I made and build a Beat Saber episode out of it, or a Beat Saber level. And, well, when we heard that Jacksepticeye was playing a whole bunch of the Beat Saber levels built on All the Way anyway, we were like, well, we kind of need to get this out there right now. So hopefully maybe he would see it and give it a try. So we've been working frantically the last couple of days.
We haven't gotten to bed until at least 2, and right now it's very late at night.
But we're fine. And so anyway, we are super excited. We hope that you all enjoyed the video and that you will like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram.
We're getting a Patreon ready. It's going to take a little bit to get that
But
going.
within a month.
And I think that's everything we got.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
We don't usually check in after, what is that called?
Oh my gosh. Oh.
My
What
word.
time is it? Shoot. It's like 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
12:30.
Okay. So,
Almost.
am I doing it this time?
You
Is
were
it me?
supposed to be giving me a word for what the ending part is called, the end song section after the finished piece.
Sure.
Okay.